strained my back. Oh, you guys don't even know. So last 2 weeks, I've been gone 2 weeks, dude. I had surgery, voluntary surgery, but your boy had a snip snip little vasectomy done, and you guys are all a little young for that, I imagine. But let me tell you this: the operation itself, relatively painless. Like if I'm putting a scale on a scale of 1 to 10, like 10 being like you've been shot in the jugular and you're bleeding out, and 1 is like you sneezed too hard. Like if that's my scale, getting the actual vasectomy operation done was like maybe a 2.5, a 3. Like it was like it took 10 minutes. Like my appointment was at 2 p.m. Why'd I get snipped? Because I'm done having kids because they're way too expensive. But yeah, so it's done. It's over. It's over. But so here's the deal. So my appointment was at 2 o'clock. I talked to Doc. I was like, "Hey, what time do you need me there?" And he goes, 1:59. And I was like, "Really? Like I don't have to show up like an hour early, like every other surgical doctor's thing?" I had full labrum recovery surgery. I have a nasty scar somewhere right there. Can't see on the stream anyway. But they came in and fixed my shoulder because it was like hanging like a pool noodle. It was awful. But that was like 6 years ago. So like that, I had to be. It was a crazy surgery. They don't even knock you out, dude. Like I showed up at 1:59. I was like, "Hey, I'm here to see Doctor So and So for my vasectomy." And she goes, "Oh yeah, don't even take a seat." And I was like, okay." And like they opened the door, like, "Hey, come back here." And like I imagine they were taking me. All right, by Jalen, what's up, my guy? I was like, dude, they don't even take me to a surgery room. Like I walked into like what you would say is like just a regular doctor's room, like just your standard like countertop sink. There's like the it's not a hospital bed. What is it? Like a examination table, maybe? I don't know. It's got like the rolled up like paper, like Bible paper, basically, like Bible paper on a roll. They like put across the cushions. So like that's what it's like. And I'm like, oh, clearly they're just gonna like take my temperature, make sure I don't have the COVID. They're probably gonna check my blood pressure and all this stuff. Nope. Nurse comes in. She goes, "Great, we're going to go ahead and get started. Why don't you just take all your clothes off and lay down on the table?" And I was like, "Come again?" She's like, "Yeah, go ahead. If you want, you can wrap this like see-through paper around you." And I'm like, "Why do I need to wrap see-through paper? You're going to come in and see me in my glory anyway. So what's the point of that?" And she goes, "Good point." I was like, "Are you the one coming back in?" There's a girl. I was like, "Are you the one coming back in here?" She goes, to the nurse. She's like, "Yeah." I go, "So what do I need to cover up? You're about to see everything I got anyway." And it ain't much, but it's what I'm bringing to the table. And yeah, so dude, I literally stripped down, takes me, I'm a dude, 10 seconds. I lay down. Doc comes in, nurse comes in. He's like, "All right, you're going to feel a little prick." And like, I guess to put some like numbing stuff on me. And dude, he's like, boop, 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 boop. And I kid you not, from the time he walked into the door to the time he walked out the door, I mean, like full done. And the nurse is like, "Yeah, go ahead and clean yourself off, put your clothes on, you're good to go." 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's it. Like the I was like half when I made the original appointment. I was like, "Oh, they're gonna knock me out. I'm gonna need like hours of recovery time. I've got to do like the whole eat before thing, so you don't like I don't know. There's like weird stuff when they give you anesthesiology." Nope, nothing. Like literally wide awake. They asked me like, "You can watch if you want." I'm like, "No, I'm good actually. Like needles and stuff don't bother me." But like I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch. I'm just gonna. So I literally just sat here like this. I was like, just laying back on the table, just staring up, like, whoo hoo hoo. Okay, okay. But yeah, like it was. I literally, you can't drive because they did make you take a Xanny beforehand. Which honestly, Xanax was the worst part. I never want to take a Xanax again. That was awful. Like it's like a weird. I was like my brain goes like a million miles an hour. So like everything was slow down. Like it was like like dude, I was in like slow motion land, and I did not enjoy that at all. A buddy of mine was like, "Yeah, then you shouldn't do drugs because you wouldn't like those." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pretty much not do drugs. That sounds like a plan for me." But think you could have played 100% could have played on my phone. 100%. I could have been playing whatever. I don't even know what games I have on my phone. Catan. I have Settlers of Catan on my phone. I could have been playing a game of Settlers of Catan. Would have been no problem. Like I could have watched a Netflix show. Probably shouldn't have been a funny one though, or like a jumpy scare one. So I don't know. Maybe I probably couldn't have laughed. That probably would not have gone over well. So maybe not a at least when there's sharp knives and stuff down there. But literally 10 minutes, guys. So my wife and kids were in the car because you're not allowed to drive when you're on Xanax because like drugs and stuff. So my wife and kids are in the car. I walk out. I kind of limp out. I was still kind of numb. But yeah, so like get in the car. So I went back to work because I had to work last 2 weeks. That's where I've been. Kind of out of town, in town. That's why I haven't been able to stream because all my I had out of town, in town video conferencing at a remote location, but I remoted into another location. It was super like unorganized, complicated, weird, excessively. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. But I had to take all my setup to another site and set up to do that, and so I couldn't stream during that because I was already in a video conference stream with like a bunch of people from around the country. It was weird. So that's why I've been gone the last 2 weeks. That and the vasectomy, which craziness, dude. Like so, let me finish up my vasectomy story. Some of you guys might eventually get a vasectomy done. Somebody asked in the chat why I didn't make my wife get her tubes tied. Usually they do the tubes tying thing if the like when they're already in there, like if the mom had a C-section. So if my wife would have had like a C-section for her and our kids, they're just like, oh well, we're in here, tie a little bow on it, put some glitter, send it up. But we had all natural births for all our kids, so we didn't. So there was no point in being invasive on her. I don't know, dude. I was like, whatever. I'm tough. I was like, I'm tough. Vasectomy, please. And it's way cheaper too, by the way. It's like $400. That's it. Which maybe seems like a lot, but like for medical surgery, like I put it this way, I called around because while it says Young Money, your boy is about as cheap as they come. So I called around like 6 different hospitals. I was like, all right, how much is bad boy gonna cost me? And half the time, yeah, took one for the team. More like I'm not even playing on the team anymore. I'm on the bench permanently. But yeah, so